Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing to read from the Focus Levels, which is a collection of unpublished documents from within the Institute with interesting notation from Miranon, a being that they claim to have met at higher levels. As with any written work, if you have not seen the first video, I strongly suggest you look in the playlist and head back to that one because it only really makes sense in order. Today's reading will be focused entirely on explaining the aspects of the color levels as we expressed in the last reading. Starting with the blue level. The blue level is awareness. You are aware that you are witnessing an event or receiving information. It is the introduction of a new concept as well as the adjustment period during which you become acquainted with the concept. The white levels of transition move into a soothing area of blue. These blue levels are used to calm and relax the awareness so it can experience the event. It is also used to recover, remember, and experience the transition from the previous level. The event happened, the information was experienced. By the time you have a realization, that's already happened. You were at the event. It came so fast that it was instantaneous, a flash of insight that happened to you just as you were becoming aware enough to realize it was happening at all. You had not decided what to think yet. There is still that pause. You are unsure of what it is. As soon as you try to label it, you move into the red level. So you are still here, faced with a mystery of pure unknown. You can describe it with color, shape, texture, smell, sound, and even taste. You are a child in awe. This experience is so unique that you have not even thought to fear it. No, this is not frightening or threatening. You are safe. This is the present moment in the greatest and most wondrous mystery of all. This is you before you decide what is now. It is just being present. This is reality. A blue level focus level is a physical reality. The higher octaves of blue levels are layers of reality as they are experienced in less dense forms until they do not relate in any form to a physical description. For example, a rock falls. You might experience rock falling at levels 1, 8, or 15 because you can exist at all these levels. The way you perceive the rock falling is what determines the focus level you are experiencing reality in. More information will follow about these levels of perception in the description of the white focus levels. A sign of having made a transition from a white level to a blue level is discovering your train of thought, is judging your previous actions. This is the reason you might ruminate before going to sleep. You might think, how could I have done that? Rather than seeing this recrimination as a source of shame or other emotion, embrace this as a sign that you are becoming conscious. An affirmation phase such as, I did the best I could with the information I had at the time. Or, the best I can hope is to learn from this and not repeat the same mistake again. The solution to any problem is to find a creative way to respond with love, even to yourself, especially to yourself. The purpose of the color patterns is to realize and learn that this process is happening. Once you are conscious of the pattern, then you can learn to move through the process with less resistance and less trauma. Life on the physical plane is hard. Would you pay attention if it was easy? What you perceive as reality is represented by a blue level. We begin and conclude a meditation at Focus Level 1 as a means of communicating about our experiences. It is safe to assume that you awaken to a blue level in the morning. The white level of transition flows into a calming level of blue after introducing an idea, a period of adjustment, and being at ease with the new notion. Consider this transition of awakening to your life each morning. You transition from the dreaming state of wakefulness. In order for the consciousness to experience the event, these blue levels are used to quiet and relax it. At the lowest levels, blue levels represent objective reality. At the upper levels, it is more nebulous and subjective. Miranon states the following about blue levels in Session 6, SHA 2044. The first level is always a pulsing level. It is the beat of life, of the impulse of being. It is the flowing quality, as we have talked about earlier. And since entering into any new plane of existence is oftentimes difficult for the consciousness, this level is a very soothing color, and that is what Lenoa described to you last week as blue. It allows the being, or the consciousness, to make a smooth transition, but this level is also a level that is somewhat difficult for the consciousness, because on this level it is new to the plane and it must become secure. It must develop feelings of being comfortable in this new plane. Therefore, it can only flow in the horizontal direction. If you will notice on the diagram, the first three levels are all horizontal levels. They are all levels in which the being is becoming comfortable with this new plane of existence, in which it is learning and establishing the foundation for other levels within that existence. When Miranon said the first three levels are all horizontal levels, he refers to the blue, red, and yellow levels. These three levels are comfortable because they are what you're familiar with and can easily be identified as physical conscious reality. Horizontal refers to the geometry shown on the above the cover section of this document. Horizontal indicates that the types of activities that are typically taking place on this level in reference to movement with energetic energies. The blue levels are typically where you observe the results of an action. The red and yellow levels are also horizontal because they are your initial response and reaction to the blue level. Deep relaxation and other states of mind that occur naturally on the blue level are possible, but during meditation you enter these states consciously and can direct it and control the content of the experience. As you gain experience meditating on the blue level, you'll realize that if a blue level is a waking reality, then higher blue focus levels are another dimension of reality. As a response to expectation of alternate reality, it is possible to imagine traveling to new worlds, expecting cloud cities and fantastical buildings and terrain. On one level, it's called imagination. Yes, a new plane of existence can be defined as a strange world, much like a science fiction novel. There's a very subtle point here that needs to be clarified when Miranon said new planes of existence, in which it is learning and establishing the foundation for the other levels within the plane of existence. Thinking practically, a new plane of existence is a different perspective on reality than you are currently experiencing. It is a fresh viewpoint that modifies how you communicate with others, perceive difficulties, and react to them. This viewpoint might appear uninteresting compared to fantastic imaged worlds, but keep in mind that there is a practical side to this knowledge. What do Miranon's new planes of existence entail? It is the transition from one thought pattern to another, much like how a child develops into an adult. The blue level represents the establishment of a new mode of perception, laying groundwork for the rules governing that group of 7 resonant colors. The key point here is that the higher blue levels you have control over what the blue level is and how you react to it. The subsequent levels allow you to develop skills for sensing and thriving within that group of 7 resonant colors. These skills and abilities can then be transferred to a waking reality, allowing you to increase the focus level of which you experience reality. When your internal dialogue changes, then you can expand your awareness in ways that increase rapport. The phrase, "when you change your internal world, the external world changes," is what Miranon is talking about when he says new plane of existence. Affecting personal change is one purpose of the 7 resonant colors. The process of being open to new information and possibilities will also become clearer as your awareness of the 7 resonant colors grows. A blue level represents objective reality. At upper levels, it is more subjective. Therefore, at higher blue focus levels, you may experience it as a black void because you have not developed the virtual senses to perceive it. By returning your attention to that level over many meditative sessions, you will gain experience in accordance with your ability to perceive. This process becomes invaluable as you will need the skill to develop your senses at higher levels. This explains why, as you begin to meditate, it is difficult to visualize anything at all. When you explore a focus level, you bring your energies there in form of attention. Bob mentions the creation of a second body and how it has other capabilities than what you would have in the physical. It is generated automatically at these focus levels by utilizing the attention available at that level. You can develop skills that aren't possible in the physical body, like flying or passing through walls, if you deliberately focus your concentration. The key to having these capabilities is understanding that you are what you are, and that is not a physical being limited to the physical dimension. The more attention you focus on a level, the more real that experience will become. Consider what you mean by paying attention in your physical waking life. You eat, drink, socialize, and interact with things in the environment. You may focus your attention on a single object, such as reading a book or looking at your cell phone. When you engage your attention at a focus level, you are investing energy at that level, and the experiences you have there become more realistic because more and more of your awareness will exist there. If you want to make a focus level more real, attempt to engage at the same activities that you do in the physical, but attempt them there in that focus level. If you're looking for a specific kind of experience, such as healing, go to the rose level. If you do not know how to heal yourself, ask an internal guide to show and help you. Consider how you develop a personal relationship with someone. You invest emotional currency, just like tending a garden. If you do not pay some attention to the space, it will not produce what you want. A plane of existence in this new way of seeing and interacting with the world by being aware that this is a perspective exists. Then you can apply your attention to making that perspective real. You make it real by consciously practicing and responding to the world in a new way. This is what is realized when you enter a new blue level. It is the new idea or event that you experience that will change you. A blue level is the moment of awareness and realization. The information was learned and the incident took place. It has already happened by the time you realize it. Consider when you were shocked or totally surprised, for example, a sneeze. In that moment, on occasion, you are present. It arrives so quickly that it was immediate, a sudden realization that happened, and you are only now becoming conscious enough to understand it. You haven't made up your mind about what to think. That pause is still present. You're not sure exactly how to think. While experiencing a blue level, you're a child in amazement. Pause for a moment at the first encounter. This event can be so unique that you haven't thought about fear yet. The greatest and most amazing enigma currently unfolding is that now. You stretch your awareness to confidently encounter the moment until your protective ego boundary is triggered, moving you to a red level. This process will happen automatically unless you consciously prevent it from happening. A blue level is experienced before you make a decision. It is you in the open, fully exposed, before the protective layer of the ego can put up a barrier. It is simply being here and now experiencing the ambience. Usually, this instant of pure reality passes so quickly that we are unconscious of what is taking place. As we move through these 7 resonant colors, keep in mind that we are slowing down the thought process so you can become aware of what happens. A blue level is where the observer side of your being can intervene and consciously direct any desired response. At this space, it is the space where you think before you act. This pause before deciding how to react is where you can subdue an impulsive reaction. In short, use the space to become aware of the thoughts and actions you may have previously been unconscious of or thought were impulsive or uncontrolled. The observer, in a nutshell, is the part of you that has a third-person perspective on experience. Consider yourself walking on the beach. The observer is the person who is watching the scene. During meditation, the observer's attention is what allows for focus levels. The more information about the observer will be provided later. A blue level is the spirit pulsating to expand and contract, entering or affecting the tangible. Pulsation is a word used by Miranon to describe the level blue. It is the effort of the spirit to push into the physical in a pulse of expansion and retraction, for example, the beating of the heart. This same beating may be the reason ocean waves are used at the beginning of the meditations. It is soothing, familiar sound that is also restful. A blue level is the instant before dualities are established. Imagine how much meditation you have to do in order to truly experience the moment. All possibilities for reactions are possible, but as soon as you attempt to identify the moment, decide if it's good or bad, and have a reaction, you enter the red level. This blue level is sometimes known as the base level in remote viewing. You can describe something using its color, form, texture, sound, smell, and even taste. However, the moment you label an event, you have moved to the red level. A blue level is awareness, which is defined as understanding that moment is unique and will never be replaced. It occurs to me how uncommon these blue flashes of clarity are. We understand that each moment is unique because an accident is tragic. If a person we love most excites us in some way, then these moments can define our entire lives. This, however, is our interpretation of the event, which, as we will see shortly, is classified as a red level. So all this time, I think I am experiencing reality, but what I am really experiencing is my interpretation of reality. A blue level represents the outside world as we can perceive it with our limited senses. A single event occurs, but when we witness it, we give it meaning. Now we turn to the inside, which is our interpretation of the outside world, a reflection, and the red level represents that reflection.